And so, one of the shortcuts I've taken, because again, the data set is so large, is instead of being like John Arriaga and just doing Stanford real estate, I said, why not be a shameless cloner? Um, you know, all I am is a low life cloner, which we'll soon discover in all its glory. But basically, so long live the SEC and long live 13Fs, which are the quarterly filings that institutional investors have to make. So one of the shortcuts I use quite a bit is I look at what the other great investors are buying. And so, if I make a list of, let's say, 20 great investors, Berkshire, Longleaf, Seth Klarman, Third Avenue, David Einhorn and so on. I have cut that universe of 50,000 stocks down to, at the most, a few dozen stocks. And if I especially look at what they bought in a given quarter, it might be down to, maybe a dozen stocks or less. So it's really narrowed that huge universe down to a much more narrow universe. And clearly, when people have made some certain positions, their top holding or their top three holdings, some great mind has processed it and gone to the point of actually, investing large sums into that position. And so then I can look at it and say, do I want to do this or not? So if I see that, Berkshire Hathaway has taken a position in Exxon, which they just did, the good news is that Warren Buffett turned me down, but he doesn't realize that he's my analyst. And the best part is that he's my analyst at zero pay. And just like I told him, listen, just hang out in Omaha. And when I need you, I'll reach out to you. And usually I reach out to Warren on 4 days of the year, on May 14th, August 14th, November 14th, and February 14th. Those are the 4 days when Warren tells me what he's been up to. And so, I can then look at what he's been up to. And what's even great about Warren is I don't even have to do direct deposit paychecks or anything. And he's never called to complain. And the other thing that's really great about him is that I keep saying no to all these things he comes up with, and he never seems to mind. And it's just wonderful. And then the same applies to like Ted Wexler, who's also in Omaha hanging out, just like I told him to, and Todd Coombs. And then, Seth Klarman hangs out in Boston with you guys. And so on, and then we've got the Longleaf guys in Memphis. And all these guys are, hanging out, doing exactly what I told them to do. And, 4 times a year, they pop their head and just, quietly tell me what they've been up to. And then they go away, and they never get disappointed or dejected if I don't take them up. And in fact, as you can see, in the last 17 months, all these guys have come up with all sorts of things, and I've said no to everything. And amazingly, none of them ever mind. They're just fantastic humans. No emotional response to repeated rejections. It's fantastic. And so I have found that, the payroll cost is 0, which is a nice number. I like that. And, like the Miller commercial of some time back, not only does it taste great, it's also less filling. So it does both things at the same time. And let's go to the next slide.